Rainollon here. Today's yet again another build showcase, and it's Inaros Prime. So, let us immediately start. Let's start with the mods first on Inaros. So, the mods I'm using on him, I'm using Growing Power for 25% ability strength. We're going to have this all the time, so it's quite good. Cutting Drift for 15% ability range. Rage, yes, Rage, a mod that nobody uses anymore, but this mod isn't that bad for this setup. So what it does is 40% of damage you take converts into energy, so you're going to have infinite energy supply with this mod on Inaros. Stretch for 45% ability range. You can of course use the Archon stretch if you have some other sources to generate electricity to get yourself energy regeneration. Prime Continuity for 55 ability duration. Archon Vitality for 100% health, and also when you proc heat with the ability, procs 2 heats instead. We're going to proc heat with our abilities, so this is quite good. Blind Rage for ability strength lowers your efficiency, but we have infinite energy economy with this ability here. And also when we use our second ability, we heal ourselves, so we will never run out of energy. Elemental Sandstorm, it's an augment for his second ability, which I'm going to talk about very soon. Transient Fortitude for ability strength lowers your duration, and Archon Intensify gives you plus 30% ability strength. And also if you use an ability that heals you, you get another 30% ability strength. And we do have our second ability that heals us, so we're going to have a permanent 60 ability strength, which is quite nice. So those are the mods for the Arcanes. Arcane Bellicose is a no-brainer on Inaros. When you have over 3k health, it gives you permanent 72 ability strength, which is much better than Molt Augmented, which gives you 60 after 250 kills. So this is much better than Molt Augmented. And the other Arcane is Arcane Battery. What it does is percentage of your armor converts into maximum energy. And he does have a pretty solid amount of base armor, plus has an ability, which is his third ability, that gives him 1246 armor. And not only that, it's going to give us even more once you proc this and proc another 30% from this. It's going to be over like 1300. With this, you're going to have like over 600 maximum energy, which is more than enough. And this fixes your energy problems entirely. So those are the Arcanes. For the stats here, the health is more than enough on him. Armor is small here, but with this, it's going to be absolutely fine. Energy is kind of smallish. Duration is more than enough. Efficiency is negative, but we have this and this, so it's absolutely fine. Range is more than enough, and ability strength, I wish I can put more, but this is for now more than enough. So those are the stats here, and I think it's time for me to explain the abilities. Alright, for his abilities, let's start with the passive. So his passive is when you die, you turn into a sand version of yourself, and you damage enemies to fill up a bar. Once the bar fills up, you revive, which is straight to the point, and it's quite good. First ability, it's gone. Replace Runner's Roar. Runner's Roar gives you increased damage to your abilities and your weapons, which is nice, and you can also give it to your teammates. Second ability, our main ability. You turn yourself into Sandstorm, you crowd control enemies, you're immortal, and you also heal yourself. We do have an augment for his second ability, Sandstorm. It's called Elemental Sandstorm. And for every ability strength you have, gives you also ability status chance and 50% range. And you wonder what the hell is Elemental Sandstorm? So stat sticks still exist in this game, and for every element you have on your melee weapon, your Sandstorm can proc. I will explain very soon. Don't worry about it. Third ability, Scarab Shell. What this does is you hold it, you lose health, but you get armor, and you also status immune, which is his old, but more armor. Fourth ability, you send forward a bunch of sand that crowd controls enemies. You're going to proc corrosion on those enemies. Once those enemies die, they turn into a sand cats that will seek out enemies, proccing the ultimate, which crowd controls them, and that also procs corrosion. It's fine. With 2 Ember Archon Shards that gives you +2 corrosion procs, you can fully armor strip them. So those are the abilities, and it's time for me to show you the so-called stat stick. So let's go. Alright, the stat stick. It's Silva and Aegis. Silva and Aegis is quite good stat stick. Why? Archon Vitality. Archon Vitality, when you proc heat, we proc 2 heat. And Silva Aegis gives you only heat, which is very important, and I will explain why. But first, the build on our stat stick. And these are the mods. And you wonder, where's the critical chance, where's the critical damage, status chance, attack speed, range, where's all of that? The multiplicatives, all of that doesn't work. All that doesn't work. So the attack speed will not make your Sandstorm quicker, your range will not make it bigger, follow through doesn't do anything, critical chance, it cannot crit, crit multi, cannot crit, status chance will not make the procs higher, and total damage doesn't go to the elemental Sandstorm. So what's the point? The whole purpose of the stat stick for the elemental Sandstorm, it's to grab the elements and puts them on the elemental Sandstorm. That's it. It doesn't grab the damage, it grabs the elements. That's it. So we give it viral damage, heat, magnetic, and corrosion, which is good against every faction. That's it. That's it. So that's the whole existence for stat stick on Inaros elemental Sandstorm build. It's just to grab elements and puts them on your elemental Sandstorm. And you wonder, why didn't I use like a weapon that has punches, slash, and impact? Why am I not using radiation? Because there's too much statuses and some of them are kind of pointless to proc on the elemental Sandstorm. And the reason why Silva Aegis, because it has heat only, and we kind of want heat to be our second highest damage type. And yes, you wonder, what do you mean by the second highest damage type? So it grabs the percentage of your weapon procer, which is this here. So as you can see here, heat is the highest damage to proc, then viral, then magnetic. But if I were to max this out, corrosion will be the highest, then heat, then viral, then magnetic, right? So what is the highest damage procer on your melee weapon will be the highest damage procer on your elemental Sandstorm. It's ridiculous. But yeah, that's the stat stick. That's generally the best one. And I think it's time for me to show you the Archon Shards, the shards I will recommend you on this setup. For the shards I will recommend for you to go is 2 regular Emerald Archon Shards that increases your maximum stacks of corrosion plus 2. So at 14 stacks of corrosion on enemies, which we will proc with our 4th ability and our 2nd ability, that's a full armor strip, which is quite good. And for the other shards, Caspi doesn't make the tornado quicker, it just makes it quicker to enter into tornado. So if you want to enter into the tornado quicker, which I will not recommend, you can use 1 Ember Archon shard for cast speed. But personally, I will go ability strength, 15% ability strength, or go for plus 15% ability damage on your enemies that are affected with the corrosion status effect. This works, surprisingly it does. Something like that is generally the best one, and that's something I'll recommend. We have corrosion on our so-called stat stick, Silva Aegis. Melee exposure does give us corrosion, and corrosion is the highest damage type, so this will make our 2nd ability do more damage. So that's it here, and I think it's time for me to show you this build finally in game. So let's go. Alright, we're finally in. I'm up against the corrupted enemies, the Void, Steel Path of course. It's survival called Moth. I'm going to show you this build in here. So first thing you do, hold your 3rd ability to give yourself status immunity and also armor. When you give yourself armor, we have Arcane Battery that gives us maximum overall energy. Now you're going to allow enemies to shoot you, to do damage to you. Press Rhino's Roar, press your 2nd ability. When you press your 2nd ability, you're immortal. You also heal yourself, and you crowd control enemies, and they fly with you. And as you can also see, they take the elements from your melee weapon, and you do damage with your elemental Sandstorm like that. You can see slash damage from the elemental Sandstorm, heat, where you get it from Silva Aegis, viral from Silva Aegis, magnetic, and corrosion. That's how all of this works. Not only that, when you heal yourself, you proc Arcane Intensify, which you will have on yourself 24/7 right here. Rainollon's Roar will make the status and the damage stronger. So always look at your Rainollon's Roar. Yep, this is how it works. So for low level missions, very good. You can just have a ton of fun. You'll pull enemies, it will instantaneously kill them. For high level missions like Steel Path, it's also solid. I can kill them, as you can see, I'm killing them. The downside is, it doesn't do any damage to the Acolyte, so use a primary or secondary to destroy them real quick. And it doesn't crowd control also the Eximus enemies, but you can do damage to the overguard they have, but it doesn't do any damage on them. So you have to turn off your second ability, shoot them, destroy their overguard to like do damage to them properly. Also, don't forget to press your fourth ability to crowd control them, summon your cats. But yeah, this is the whole setup. You're going to be forever on your tornado. You forever have maximum energy because of rage and battery. You can spam your first ability, your fourth ability, summon your cats to crowd control them. You fully armor strip thanks to the Emerald Arcane Shards. And yeah, this is the whole gimmick. Now, yep, there's the Eximus enemy. As you can see, the cats are the ones that have to kill it. Or you turn off your second ability, shoot it with your favorite secondary or primary to destroy their overguard. I think I said already that. But yeah, this is the build. It's very interesting, very unique. I spent a couple of hours thinking how this will work. And yeah, this is the setup. It's very funny. It's very funny, it works. The only downside, the biggest downside I have on this setup is why do we still have stat sticks? I know it's a mod, but why can't I properly scale this? I think a lot of people really wish to have a spin to win Warframe. We have too many jank and not proper spin to win Warframes. And it will be kind of cool to give this guy a stat stick so he can build it for crit and stats damage. And you like spin and crowd control enemies while also critting and, you know, the other stuff. But right now it just doesn't do anything. Shoot that. To break the overguard. I lost my Rhino's Roar. Press Rhino's Roar. Press my fourth ability. Press Sandstorm. Always look at your third ability. Enemies can break it. Recast it. Press this. It's funny. Some of you might really enjoy this, especially for low level missions. Regular star chart, if there is any content we have to go back there, or you have to farm something. This is quite good. Like, it will instantaneously kill them. It's a decent range. It like crowd controls them really well. Good against Corpus, armored enemies, infested. Alright, where's the Acolyte? I mean, against the Acolyte, like I said, it's not going to do anything. So, I don't know why am I even waiting for the Acolyte. It doesn't do any damage to the Acolyte, sadly. There you go. I think I've shown this build more than enough. Time for me to leave. And I'll be right back. That's my Inaros Prime Elemental Sandstorm build. I hope you guys enjoy the build. Thank you yet again everybody for watching. Leave a like, sub, and of course, see y'all next time. Thank you. Goodbye.